when 50 told me that mental and all that and pieces and hip hop, I'm like, what? Big Boy's Neighborhood. All righty now, Big Boy Uncut. Let's get into it, man. 50 Cent versus everybody. Yeah, man. Big Boy Uncut, 50 Cent versus everybody. We recently had 50 Cent in the neighborhood, and we did how do you say? I guess we do what 50 do. 50 did what he do. You know what I'm saying? So 50 comes into the neighborhood, and we're always great to have 50 in the neighborhood, man. Always a pleasure to have him, man. And you never know what's going to go viral with 50. Never. Right. Because 50 is one of those people, when he come into the neighborhood, I'm going to tell you guys straight up, there's times when 50 will come in and I literally curl my toes inside of my shoes. And you would think I would be used to having 50 in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So from going with having a great interview, big interview with 50, so many viral pieces, to now doing an uncut with 50 versus everybody. When you hear the title, it is that. Now 50 comes into the neighborhood, and there's so much I want to speak about, but there's an Opps list that went down.
Yeah.
And if you guys been looking viral, there is this 50 Cent in the neighborhood, and he's holding up this list right here, and it's Drake's Opps list. Yeah. And for those that are tuning in, hopefully you guys understand this did not come from Drake.
No.
Yeah.
Drake didn't get together. Can you put my Drake drop up there as well? Because I'm going to be talking about a lot of Drake. But Drake didn't put this list together. 50 Cent didn't put this list together. No. I did not put this Drake Op list together. Right. I just happened to be at the house one day, and a friend of mine by the name of DJP, Paul Stewart hits me up, and it's in WhatsApp, and I see what's going down, and I look, and it says Drake's Op list revealed. And I'm like, okay, I know that there's been a lot of movement with Drake. Right. I know that the lawsuit and everything like that. So I'm thinking, what is this? This must be something new when it comes to Drake. So I look at it and I swipe and I look at it because it's from this place called the Drake Debate. Is it Drake Debate?
Drake Debate on Twitter.
The Drake Debate on Twitter. So I'm looking at this, and mind you, this is from October.
Yeah.
So this
23.
list has been floating around. You know what I'm saying? And this is October of what, 2024?
October 23.
23?
October 23, 2024.
Okay. I was about to say, what the hell? So October 23rd.
Yep.
2024. You got to excuse, that's Ani. When she say her birthday July 5th, say July 5.
Bilingual.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking at the list. And when I'm looking at the list, I'm like, why did Paul send this to me? Why did DJP send it to me? Because I'm looking and I see that it doesn't say Big Boy. So as I'm looking, I'm like, okay, well, it's in alphabetical order. It's Absol, it's Adidas, it's Anthony Fantano, A$AP Rocky. So I'm looking, and when I look at the B's, I should be between A$AP Rocky and that Bobby Althoff or whatever the girl that does the interviews. Yeah, you say what?
The white chick.
We're not going to describe people by calling
the white chick.
The boring girl.
The one that gets the great interviews that I wish we can get.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
The one that got Drake in bed.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, so but Drake doesn't talk to her anymore, right?
Yeah.
There's something that's going down. So I'm looking at this and I say, okay, well, there I am, Kurt Alexander. They put my government name on here. And it says Kurt Alexander radio host.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at this entire list, I'm like, DeMar DeRozan, I know why he's on there. Yeah. He's at the pop out. He doing the do. You know what I'm saying? Russell Westbrook should be on there. I got DJ Head, West Coast, West Coast guard. He should be on there. Dr. Dre from the pop out. I see dead people. Yeah. There's low hanging fruit. I'm looking at what did Playboy Cardi do? Okay. The entire TDE as a record label, as a staff, all you motherfuckers, you all on here. And then he breaks down even where he called, Punch, real name is on here, but it says Punch from TDE. The Weeknd is in all the thes. The Company Man from YouTuber. The Alchemist. The BET Awards. The Grammys. The MTV VMAs. The NBA. The NFL. Jesus. The Weeknd is in that list as well. Kid Cudi, Kanye West, Joe Budden, Metro Boomin, Megan Thee Stallion, Lil Yachty. I think anybody that ever blinked or did if you inhaled, you're on this list.
Tyler the Creator on there?
Tyler the Creator's on there. So now we have 50 Cent in the neighborhood. The 50 comes down for just a regular big interview. Yeah. And no one is talking about this list. I just happened to grab the list from my buddy DJP. I send it to Ani. I send it to our producer, Jason. And I'm not even thinking of going on with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could do it in the show. Oh, my God, I'm on this list. Because Drake didn't create the list. I'm not tripping off the list, So I just happen to be on air, and I'm talking live, and I say, oh, yeah, I'm on the Drake Op list. So we print the list. We're just kind of talking about it during the show. After the show, 50 Cent comes in for a post-interview. We do our interviews after the show. So 50 comes in. This list just happened to casually be sitting on the other side. I'm talking to 50, and I'm like, man, the Drake Op list. So we start talking about, who's on here during the interview. So 50 refers back to the list in the interview, and he holds it up, and he's like, big, the list. And as you hear.
I didn't invite these situations, but I didn't.
Run away.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would look and go, oh, so you want a problem? Is that what you want?
Hey, man.
I was already in mode for that. Like, the vehicle's bulletproof and bomb-proof and everything. And I'm like, what? I'm already geared up for the whole thing. So it's like, I'm like, oh, you thought you was, like, different.
How can that happen with Busta, Fat Joe? Is the Ja Rule, is it deeper?
No, it's the same thing that you see Drake experience. How did he just have... This is the op page.
Right. And it was literally that quick where he's talking about his beefs and he just see the this is the op page.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he holds it up and everybody free frames that and that becomes the big thing now.
He was just winning consistently more than everybody else in the culture. And then these people start to turn into people that feel like they're ops all over the page, big. Because they keep watching them win. And then you go, I want this thing forever, man.
Right.
I'm not sure you can have it forever.
Right.
Not forever.
Do you ever get like not scared or something like that, but do you ever feel like man, like I'm doing so well? Do you ever feel like the high horse you could be knocked off the high horse?
You have to know when to pivot.
So if you listen, that's a basic interview. You know what I'm saying? Nothing we do is basic. That's a great part of an interview.
Yeah.
But then he picks it up and it's a screenshot. It's a split second. And now that is everywhere viral. People are doing their own talk about it. People trying to figure out why they're not on the list. Everybody doing reaction videos and everything. And it just started from us talking about 50 Cent's beef.
Yeah.
So now that we got 50 Cent in the neighborhood and if we're going to talk, really uncut, I asked him his thoughts about the beef with Kendrick and Drake. Yeah. Because they're, 50's been through a lot of beef. Ja Rule, they've been beefing for like decades.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My favorite.
He's put his like 1,000 hours of beef hours.
Oh, man.
To be a professional beefer.
Usually it's 10,000.
Like, 10,000.
10,000 hours,
he's
man.
Definitely put them all in.
And he's done his 10,000. So we were talking about just even with Ja Rule. He has been beefing with Ja Rule for decades now. It's got to be like 20 years that they've been beefing. And so I asked him about, did he really buy out tickets for Ja Rule's concert? Did you really buy Ja Rule's tickets, like seats at his concert?
Because they were cheap tickets. The tickets were very affordable.
Right.
They was on like StubHub. Yeah, I bought the first 4
rows. How many did you buy? If you say you bought the first 4 rows, is that a couple hundred?
Yeah, it was cheap though. It was cheap tickets, so it was something to do. Like if you don't look at me like that, man.
All right, man.
We done for years. It's just I looked at it. I said, "Yo, this is not." I just want you to feel like you gotta reach the people. They're like 4 or 5 rows back.
Man, what is this? What? That 2 decades later, it's still this.
No, I mean it's not that big of a sacrifice for me. Now I've bought things that mean less to me.
Right.
Oh my gosh, this dude.
That was fun. That was like watching it. Let me see the show and see that those spaces are empty because they are reserved for someone else. They're not supposed to be sitting.
That's brutal. That's so brutal.
Man, Ja Rule also is like my guy. And I know Ja Rule 25 years now because it was like in 1999 I only just kind of looked up. Ja Rule got to be tired of this shit.
Hell yeah.
And so being that 50 has been involved with so many beefs, I did ask him his thoughts on the beef, with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Man, back to 50's 2 Cent. The entire Kendrick and Drake beef. We were talking about that. And like I said, you've been in beefs for like decades.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you feel about that entire beef?
I thought it was good, man.
Right.
Like look, I've engaged and always involved myself in those situations, big, and I think it always made bigger excitement in our culture. Like that type of thing would make a person buy the record twice.
Right.
It would make like
so you know how to use it.
Yeah.
What do you think this is with Drake and Kendrick?
No, I think it's a point where you win repeatedly to the audience, and even the artist community is going, if you win again, how am I have my chance to win? So they would rather see Kendrick in that slot and Drake, you get out of here.
Damn.
That's really the way it goes. But like you think what he's saying the system's done. They done it. They're guilty of what he said they did.
How do you feel about beef in general?
I like it.
Yeah, I know.
We can tell.
No, I grew up under circumstances where it is not optional. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And then you going, look, battling has always been a part of hip hop culture. If you're not competing, look, that is we hit a spot where business is so present that he looked at it and said, well, that's defamation of character because it's not true. It's a false statement. Right? And I'm like, you know how many false statements were in battle records?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. What did you feel about the lawsuit when you heard the lawsuit being announced?
I thought it was to combat the
Super Bowl?
Yeah, because that would reignite it big or make it, the song would make it exciting, make it go up again.
And months down the line, too.
Yeah, but the suit itself, I don't think you think about it, but when the lawsuit comes out, it ignites the record. It goes up.
Right.
I didn't realize that his album was coming.
Right.
Kendrick album was coming right when that lawsuit fell, and it was like,
so we see kind of the lawsuit after a long, like that beef has been going on pretty much this entire year.
Yep.
And whatever it is, and we say beef, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to continue to go because Kendrick got Grammy nominations for Not Like Us, which will be the Grammy ceremonies in February.
Yeah.
He got 5 for Not Like Us, 2 for Like That. And then he got the Super Bowl show.
Yep.
Then he has his tour that's going down. So it doesn't seem like this is going away anytime fast.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? And when we did talk about this entire beef, at first when we talk about the beef, we talk about the big three.
Right.
And the big three is Kendrick, Cole, Drake. At one point, not our naming, but they called them the big three.
Yeah.
And so when Kendrick came out with Like That, he addressed the big three. Mother F the big three is just me. You know what I'm saying? And so at one point now, okay, we all in this.
Right.
We're all in this. And you start to see where J. Cole makes one and he gets out.
Yeah.
I asked 50 about his take on J. Cole leaving this thing, this big three, this beef, and 50 had something totally different than what I thought. But you didn't agree with how J. Cole got himself out of the Drake and Kendrick thing. Can you understand?
Because he's one of the top guys. That's like the competitive energy of it. You want to see them compete a little bit. That's when we're gonna find out who really got it. Like when he decided, but I would have won the battle, but I would have lost a brother.
Right. But you don't I don't know why I understood that.
No. I understand the relationship.
Right.
Right? But I don't understand why the competitive part in the art form. If y'all brothers like that, then why wouldn't you compete? Why wouldn't you understand that we're just competing? Hey, come on. So you're saying we could be so close. We're brothers.
Right.
But I don't want no smoke with you. What are you, like my big brother that'll knock me the hell out in the house type of thing? Is a different type of brotherly relationship? Are you saying I'm not gonna do this because I know you're gonna get me?
I don't think that's where Cole was coming from, though.
I'm just saying to you, that's the energy you feel when there's no competition.
Right. Where I think Cole was coming from, Fifth, I think that it was when he said, like, it messed with my peace, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like why would I get down for you?
Look, this is this new sophisticated version of hip hop culture we're talking about, right? Kendrick has records like "Sit Down, Be Humble." It's got a lot smarter.
Right.
The music got smarter.
Yeah.
There was an area that was reserved for this in our culture the entire time. It was like called conscious rappers.
Hey, man, and 50 and I, we got to agree to disagree.
Look, first of all, when you get challenges, if your opponent is a good opponent, then you get better. When we put the best fighters in there, we don't want to watch this guy fight a cab driver.
Right.
Like you fighting an Uber driver, bro. We don't want to see that. We want to see fight somebody that could actually fight you, like the top guys. And there's that's the same competitive energy that we see in the culture.
So on the competitive side, you think that Cole should have stayed in it?
Yes.
Damn, that's crazy, Fifth, because I totally disagree with you.
I'm glad you disagree, and we can be friends.
Right. Yeah, but take it first. But take my disagreement as like cool though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to leave from here.
Check his
It's
ID.
not that, look, I'm just saying to you
Posting.
my personal perception of it.
Right.
I would have liked it to see him engaged.
Yeah, you would have liked to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I look.
And I think that's why Cole as well. And I haven't had a conversation with Cole. But when somebody say my mental, it disturbed my peace, I can understand, like, man, and then plus what it became.
Big. Look, your mental and your peace is not a part of hip hop, coach.
Yes, it is, Fifth.
Okay. I'm just saying things are getting a little more sophisticated.
Right. All right, man.
Then
we
when
gonna,
I was
we gonna have to
engaged,
agree to disagree then,
No,
bro.
babe, I'm just saying to you, look,
And my man said, like almost frustrated. Like, I'm like, man, what is and
then come back
what
and
the
talk
fuck is what does mean?
It hurts me.
Right.
It hurts me to feel like this at the moment, because I'm like, how do you not? And look, I
But how do I entertain you and sacrifice
I would
me?
have won the battle. He said he would have won if
right. Okay. Yeah. See, Quest had a problem with that too.
Yeah, that's
I think you said it too. Like, why would you even say I would have won the battle? And lyrically, I think he could have fucked with it though.
No,
I'm not saying.
Look, they would have had a time. That's why I was looking forward to it. But I don't know. Like what happened. Like I was like, yo, like.
So even now that you've seen all the other records, you've seen Not Like Us, what it did. You know what I'm saying? Because this was early on.
Yeah.
So you still stand by. Why did he get?
I still think he would have delivered something that would have been interesting, and then we would be kind of arguing which one was a better, piece. So I'm like, how do you just stop? Like,
hey man, what do y'all feel? Just sitting here, uncut style. What do y'all feel about? And we've had this conversation because it's been a long conversation. What do you feel about Cole getting out of the battle?
In hindsight, now you're like, okay, we have the ultimate battle between these two juggernauts, which is Drake and Kendrick, right? I think with three of them, I think it would have been too much to handle, bro.
Right.
Like, it would have been too hectic.
I think we would have followed along because I think we followed along with the 9 songs that came out.
And and it's one of these
10,
things where, like,
songs,
who's going to eventually end this? Like, did Kendrick end this already with everything that he's killing them with success? Or is Drake backing out, or is Drake going to come back? Now, imagine if you had a third person with J. Cole in it. Like, this thing would have been a never-ending war, bro.
But you got to think, I don't think that whatever it is anywhere close to being over.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be in stages forever.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be in stages because we saw the stages of, the tennis match. You saw the stages of Drake going back to back.
That's true.
Yeah, it looked like a tennis match, and then you just saw, the stages of once we got to Not Like Us, it was like a whole different thing. But it went in stages, and I don't think it's over. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that Drake is like done in the business, but there's a lot of different opinions now, though.
I think Cole could have kept up with these guys.
Yeah,
though.
and
I'll tell you
lyrically, that's what I'm saying.
For sure.
That's what I was trying to tell Fifth.
Yeah.
I'm like, lyrically, I think I feel he could have. But when somebody say, man, it's my mental, and this disturbing my peace, maybe I'm just in a different place. And when 50 told me that mental and all that and pieces and hip hop, I'm like, what?
Like, I love that he did. Like, J. Cole pulled out because imagine if they're really.
Whoa, you talking about the other battle?
Oh, yeah, the battle.
You talking about the battle? You know what I'm saying?
Because the thing is, like, him and Kendrick have known each other for over a decade at this point, so they know a lot about each other. So if Kendrick really went at Cole, we would have probably heard things that we shouldn't have just because they're homies and they know that.
Right, according to Fifth, he would have loved that scene in it.
Yeah, but like we don't need to. It's
competitive.
cool. It's
and
cool
that's
to
what
see
I was
that.
telling Fifth as well. I was like, man, when do I sacrifice me for you? You know what I'm saying? But Fifth not here, and he, I wish he was so he could talk about it. But I asked him that, but he's different. He's competitive like that. It's a different thing. What did you feel about it, Mariana?
I mean, I feel like Cole should have gone with it.
Really,
like,
though?
I'm upset that he pulled out of it, the whole beef that they had going on.
Really?
Yeah.
Even when he explained it, like, man.
Yeah.
And at his festival, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When Dreamville Fest, when he said, give it up for Kendrick, the crowd. You didn't feel any of that?
I was mad at that. I was like, why would you do that?
Right.
Like, you were doing the entertainment, what you're supposed to be doing. When you start a rap beef, like, I feel like you should continue until you take the L and you go,
Right.
Or win.
Damn.
But he didn't start
Or
it.
win.
Say what now?
Like, J. Cole never started that.
But
That
who
was,
started? I think they
It was
all.
Kendrick.
Nah,
Yeah.
man.
Well, no, the like
Nah.
that. No, the like. So the thing is that J. Cole had a concert in LA years ago where he brought out Drake and Kendrick, and at that time they were already beefing, but he was trying to get them together,
Right.
and people were like, "What?"
But in the competitive nature too, when you hear certain things, it's like, oh, okay, he's saying he's this, he's saying he's the king, he's saying,
Right.
this has been years. This just did start up in Kendrick
nowhere.
stretched and said, oh, let me do like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no.
No, because he had the control verse too, where he called people out and no one said anything. So he's been saying that, and Cole's kind of that's my homie.
And you know what? People said things about the control verse. They just didn't get in the booth and say it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
right.
saw interviews from Drake. People said things about the verse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not only the verse, the BET cipher, but I think it was shots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But where I'm talking about from, and you say if it's been going down, Marianne, you say it should be, he should stay in.
He should have.
I was just thinking at some point I'd just be like, and it's not like he got a few songs in or something and he tapped out. You know, and some people are upset that he even threw that one in and then tapped out.
Right.
Like people were like, man, you should have just tapped out from the beginning or just say, hey man, y'all have that.
Exactly.
You know?
That's how I feel about it.
But I just felt like when he said my mental, you know, is messing up my peace, I could understand that.
I mean,
She's like, you're not hip hop, man. She was like, mental and peace aren't hip hop. 50 said it.
Yeah, like he did nothing to Kendrick before that. I'm asking my AI if he's ever dissed Kendrick before that. Cole to Kendrick.
I'm not saying he dissed him. I'm saying when you go out and you say, I'm the best, I'm this, and the big, you know what I'm saying? Like even what was the record? The Fire Squad record?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
from 2014.
Yeah, but that's braggadocio. That's hip hop. So when I'm hearing you saying that, I'm gonna come at you. There's been light bats and fuck that AI. There's been light, tennis things of things going back and forth.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it just I think like that just happened. You know? And the thing with like that stopped the coy. It stopped who is he talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then once everything started with Drake and Kendrick, it stopped all that. Who's he referencing? Who's he?
Right.
Because it was like, boom, I'm coming at you. I'm coming at you. It was very specific.
Yep.
Believe that, man. And like when I was saying just the power of not like that, not like us. Like us is not like us is one of those records. 5 Grammy Awards. I've seen beefs. I've seen Tupac. I've seen Biggie. I've seen LL Cool J, Cannabis, LL Cool J, Kool Moe Dee, Nas. Nas and Jay-Z, Ice Cube, entire NWA.
Damn.
And I've never seen a record that went and had 5 Grammy nominations. With Not Like Us. I've never seen like the NBA playing songs. They playing basketball in the Olympics and Steph Curry's like, there's other songs in the USA. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that, now you see Kendrick, much deserved, at the Super Bowl.
That's
For
crazy.
sure.
And when 50 was in the neighborhood, I did ask him about that, and they shared a Super Bowl together with Dr. Dre. And you've done the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What do you anticipate for Kendrick next year for the Super Bowl?
Oh, man, it'd be exciting, man. I think, look, it's the biggest live sporting event. I think the only thing that you could do bigger than that is the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like outside of the Super Bowl, nothing is bigger. You know what I mean?
What was that like for you, just being a part of a halftime show when y'all did it?
It was for me to be in the company I was in also. Like,
Right.
It's Dre, it's Snoop, it's Mary, it's Kendrick.
Yeah,
Then
him.
you know what I mean? Like for him to get another go around, like for him to come back.
Yeah, man.
It's just saying that he's the now. Like it's just right now.
Hey, man, what did you feel about the? Because you've been involved. You know what I'm saying with beefs. You know what I'm saying. When you heard Drake and the Kendrick thing,
right.
when you first heard, and you heard a bumbling. It's like a little tennis match. You heard a little bit, and then like that comes. With Future, with Metro and Kendrick on that verse.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Did you think that it's about to get set off right here? Or were you surprised that Drake came back and said anything, or you knew?
Nah, it was cool.
Competitive?
I felt like they would be competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a good period for hip hop in general because they produce like better material faster.
Yeah.
It forced them to work.
That's what I said too. I was like, man, if these, I don't want to hear no more of my album coming out next year when you could drop 9 songs in 2 days.
Yeah, because it felt like Kendrick was like not responding fast.
Right. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, like
at first.
Came and he came again, and it was like another joint. It was like, damn. I was like, damn. And then Kendrick came. He had a whole CD.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that meme when you go, then 5 songs later. And I think he's going to do a great job at Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And even talking with Fifth, we were talking about just with the lawsuit as well, man. What does that lawsuit mean? And Fifth was kind of breaking down that, man, he was saying that maybe they're doing these other lawsuits so they could tell the NFL, I don't think you want to be involved with this.
Wow, that's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? I don't think you want to be involved with
Small
this.
little threat.
And do you think that Kendrick would do Not Like Us at the Super Bowl? I'm talking
has
about
to.
commercial TV,
Damn.
National Football League. Not will he do it? Can he do it?
I think so, but do you think that he would have to switch up the lyrics, like any of it, the
Right.
minor?
He had to switch up lyrics when he did the Super Bowl with Dre and Snoop.
True.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
I hope he does it.
Me
right.
too.
And my thing is this: if he can't lyrically do it, then if you just hear and then you go into another song. You're like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, what if he starts off with that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't start off with the. I would do a couple songs and pause.
Yeah.
And then when you hear that, he does a song or not. But if they can't let the dude do, you know,
right away.
I think the NFL is gonna do one of those like just whatever you do, don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
AKA do that.
Yeah, you will be live.
You will be live.
You will. You know, we didn't clear it. You know what I'm saying? And then you see the NFL. Drake had a new op list from from the Drake debate. They be like, yeah, well, the NFL's already on here. I'm tripping.
Yeah,
the NFL is already on the original. Believe that, man. So we have 50 Cent in the neighborhood, man. And we talking about 50 Cent versus everyone.
Everybody.
And 50 Cent versus everyone. You can't leave out Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's been on a 50 Cent versus everyone and 50 Cent versus Diddy for years.
He doesn't care,
But you know what I love about when he came into the neighborhood, man? It was kind of a different tone when we spoke on Diddy. Do you think Puff is cooked?
I'm not sure if he's cooked. I'm not sure how bad that it is because you know what? When we think of all of those different allegations that pile up, he's cooked.
Right.
But I don't know how much of that turns into actually like what he's up against.
Right. The court of public opinion is one thing.
Yeah.
And then they also say, once we get in, then the truth will come out.
That public opinion, he's washed. He's washed
Yeah.
up. They washed him right there. But when you think about, it had a lot to do with him coming out and say, I've been sitting here watching you people insult my character, this and that, and then the tape comes out.
Boom.
So if the government released the tape, then it would say that they kind of poisoned the pool of people, and that could be a defense.
Do you believe in conspiracies like that too, or could
conspiracy? I don't know if it's a conspiracy, big. I mean,
Right.
like when someone leaks something, it goes to TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
Like the regular person, their channels with TMZ. When you see something come on and it comes on CNN, that's a little different. That could have came from the government itself, And it's interesting because he had different problems with people on different levels. Like the Diageo, when he's saying that they're racist because they was doing something different with his brand. Like these people, these are $3 billion company. These people they have lobbyists in DC. If they want to turn it on, it could turn on.
Mm-hmm.
And then they benefited probably the most from those parties.
Are you ever concerned with that?
What?
With you being as big as you are, that's something.
Well, I'm not suing them.
Right.
I'm not going after them.
You're like, no, big.
But you're attached to a lot of brands, a lot of big brands, right?
Yeah, well, those are mine.
Yeah.
I own those companies.
And he was like, you're not going to catch me up in that, man. Yeah. And as I'm sitting here right now, as we're doing this uncut 50 Cent versus everybody, we're over 1 million views just on that one sit down.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Dog.
And other people are sharing it as well, man. And we did get kind of, there's been times when he's gone at Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And he continued to go at Jay-Z. And that there was another tone that he took with us in the neighborhood that I felt was like a little different with Jay-Z, the allegations. You know what I'm saying? And this is just one of them things that you hate to hear as well. So recently we just saw, which I can't. We look at the accusations, and we're going to get to Diddy as well, but you look at the accusations, and there's an accusation about Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old teenager. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, that the statement is something from, you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're going to find out, like how I'll handle this. And that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like your publicist wouldn't say those things. Yeah.
When you see things like this, Fifth, and there's times when I saw this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this is on your.
Who put that up?
Yeah, this is on.
50?
Yeah, it says, I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because look, they will fall back, but the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of culture. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Right.
Look,
because you're part of the culture.
Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre a little bit. And then maybe I stay out of trouble.
Nah, but you told us before. You said sometimes you'll say things because you're being bullied.
Yeah,
you know how we say bully and
all
petty.
The time, like when that happens. As soon as that happens, you know what happens in my timeline, babe? Oh, yeah, you think it's funny. You're next, buddy.
Right.
Like, I'm like, oh shoot.
Right. So you feel bullied.
Yes, I'm being pushed around here.
Hey, man, do you see any of the comments where people are like, yeah, when that dropped, this is the first place I came?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming there, big. Like, I put up an ad.
Right.
That's the least thing that people like when you got professional pictures that don't have flaws in them. They don't want to see that. They want to see your actual lifestyle. Right. So I put a professional picture like this. Leave me alone, people, because I know you're looking for what I'm going to say. And then I put the next picture up and say, 50 Cent Action TV.
Right.
Don't come to my page looking for trouble.
Right. And that's why we called it 50 Cent versus everybody.
Everybody, dog.
Everybody, man.
No
and
one's safe.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, no one's safe. Yeah, we didn't get into like the I don't know MMA. We didn't get into Rick Ross. We didn't get into nothing else, man.
And Rick Ross liked the post of him holding up that Opps list because I went viral everywhere, and I was like, wait a second, he liked that.
Well, Rick Ross is on here too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But once again, man, you can find that entire big interview. It's at radiobigboy.com, Big Boy TV right here, our YouTube channel as you're watching. Hit that subscribe button as well, man. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. Believe that, man. I'm just doing what other people do when they sign off on their YouTube. Hey, YouTube. And make sure that you guys, comment and hit that like button down below.
Subscribe.
No, but Big Boy Uncut 50 Cent versus everybody, and we are gone.